what happens. But from Mike McCarthy to we can't, let's say Matt Eberflus getting fired to Mike McCarthy finding a way to make this team fight and Zimmer defense getting back to Kyle Shanahan not doing running back by committee to Mike McDaniels. And his team just when it's time to go to the cold. Mike McDaniel's team is really like a person who lives in Florida. Because as soon as they go up to the Midwest, they like, man, it's too cold for us. And that's what happened last night, man. We got to talk about it. I wish J-Mo was here to talk about it also. I know Teddy somewhere smiling, DeVore somewhere talking about Jalen Hurts. And I'm trying to find some more Dolphins fans to even talk about this game. But not finished yet. Tua comes back and Tua's having a decent game until it gets cold outside, and you tell the critics that, hey man, I'm gonna play better when it's cold out. And it didn't look that much good yesterday. So are the Dolphins' playoff hopes over, Joe?
You know what's funny? The toughest game on the remainder of their schedule to me. If y'all, I hope y'all looking at the schedule right now. All right, the toughest. I'm gonna say for the people on that's watching. They play. They
I want
play
to hear
home
that.
against the Jets. They play at Houston. They play home against the 49ers. They play at Cleveland. They play at the New York Jets. The toughest game to me is at Cleveland. Yes,
Knew it. I
they
knew
play.
you was gonna say that. I knew it.
They play at Cleveland
In
Sunday
December.
on the 29th of December. Sunday night football. Jameis Winston prime time. That's gonna be a cold game. Now I gotta get to it some props. I'm not gonna lie. He looked better than what he normally looks in the cold. I will give him that because he's normally a complete no-show in the cold. But he was better. He had his throws, and I was like, dang, Tua, like he missing these like on key downs though. I'm talking about third down, missing throws, right? But I gotta give him props. He wore no sleeves. He was sleeveless. So he was trying to embrace, like, I am not scared of I'm not cold. His coach, on the other hand, red nose, got a hat. They whole sideline look cold. Josh Jacobs said, them boys cold. Them boys too cold. You know? So, and Josh Jacobs came from Vegas. It ain't cold over there. So I'm going to say they playoff hosts. Are they over? Now they do have a shot, but I'm going to say yes, man. They're 5-7 right now. And the good thing about the AFC is it's not as top heavy. Not top heavy. It's you have a better shot of making the playoffs in the AFC than you do in the NFC. NFC, you got like 3 teams in the NFC North got 9 wins. You know what I mean, right? When I look at the standings in the playoff picture, you look at the AFC. The number 7 seed of the Broncos 7-5. And then below that, 5-7. Like literally, the Miami Dolphins are tied for 8th place in the playoff race, right? So they can make it, but it's gonna be tough because they gotta play y'all. The key. All right, look, I said the toughest game of the Browns game, but the key game is against the 49ers. I think they will have to win out probably. No, you know what? I'm changing my mind on the fly, y'all. Because Denver gotta play the Chiefs again. They also got to play the Chargers again, who both of them are kind of tied, right? Chargers and Denver. They're going to battle out for a spot. You know, we ain't worrying about Baltimore and above. Like 5 and above is kind of like a lot, kind of, in my opinion, in the playoffs. So I'm going to say it's not over. It's not over. I'm going to say it's not over. Now, they have to win out most likely, and not really. They can lose one more game, in my opinion, and still make the playoffs probably. If they go 9-8, they can make the playoffs. All depends on what Denver does, because I'm not a believer in the coach no more. I'm gonna say yes. They still in the race, y'all. Go
Yo.
ahead. I'm trying to keep this now. Tomo gotta do it.
But the Texans is in that 5 and above, Joe. That's why I was like,
But the Texans, they division. I mean, unless the coach come take it from them.
yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the only thing. And they already beat the coach twice.
And the Dolphins got to play them too. So
So they got to actually, they are literally 3 games in front of the coach for real. When you think about it, 3 games.
I think they got a shot too.
Yeah.
I think they have a chance too. My thing is I think they can only afford to lose one game.
Same.
If they lose two, then I think that's it. Because I don't believe in the Jets. Let's just be honest about it. I don't believe in the Jets. just a 3-8. I don't see the Jets going into Miami and beating them. I also am very questionable about the Texans. Texans have given away leads and lost games they should have won. They should have beaten the Titans. They should have beaten the Lions when they had the chance, and they choked that game away. That game right there told me everything. To the reason having caused 5 turnovers on defense, and you still lose the game because your quarterback can't get you into scoring position, it's not good. CJ Stroud is having a sophomore slump. Joe predicted this in the preseason, and it's coming to fruition now. He is not playing his game right now. I don't know if he's playing scared, but it looks like it at times. If you just look at his face sometimes when he's in pressure downs, he doesn't look as confident as he did last year. He looks like he's pressing. He looks like he's pressing, and he's talking a lot more than normal. I'm sorry to say this, but I think he hung around Micah too much this offseason. I think it's starting to rub off on him. I think he hung around Micah a little bit too much this offseason. Now he's having a bad season right now. Because he had all this promise. You know, they went and got Stephon Diggs. Nico Collins was having a good season, and I get it. Stephon Diggs after the rest of the season, you ain't gonna see him no more the rest of this year. Nico Collins has been in and out of lineups. You know, Tank Dell had, I mentioned this in the last time we talked about the Texans. Tank Dell had got shot in the offseason, and now you got to look about what's going on with him now. So, but Tank Dell was there. You went and got Joe Mixon, who started off hot this year, and now it seems like the Texans are just up and down. So I don't know. I think the Dolphins have a good chance to win that game because it's not like he's going into the cold. He's going to Texas, and Tua, since he got back from injury, has thrown for 13 touchdowns and 1 interception since he got back from his concussion. So Tua has been balling. And last night, he threw for 346 yards and 2 touchdowns. I get it. His QBR was bad. It was only 61.7, but he still threw for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns in the cold. So you think he's not going to be able to do that in Texas? I think he's going to be able to do that in Texas. San Francisco, I mean, we going into Miami. I don't know who's going to be playing in that game because it's injuries almost every single week. We still don't know if Brock Purdy is going to be playing this Sunday because he was limited in practice yesterday, so we don't know if he's going to play. Trent Williams is right now in practice rolling around in the knee roller, so he's not even walking properly right now. So we don't know if he's going to play. Honestly, if that's a toss-up game. That's a toss-up game. If we're healthy and we actually play the way that we're supposed to, and even though our leader on defense has been injured since week 4 with an ankle injury, he's played every single game since then. But everyone else is pretty much out. Tua, our passing defense is not good. Let's just put it out there. The pass defense is not good. We give up players on. I think we're like 20 or 25th in the league in passing defense. It's not good at all. It's bad. And our rushing defense hasn't been good as of late. If you see, we just gave up our first 100-yard rusher this past Sunday against Josh Jacobs and them guys in like the last 37 games that we've had. So we're losing steam there. So for me, the 2 games to watch for them to lose would be the last 2 games. It's because both of those games are going to be in the cold. And even though that last game is against the Jets, it's in the cold. So I don't know. I think Tua is 0-9 in cold games in his career.
Under 32 degrees like that.
He's 0-9. He's not somebody who's going to win a game in the cold. Even though he played okay last night, even though his stats look good, like Joe said, there were key downs where he was missing plays. So then Tyreek has not been what Tyreek was last year. We don't hear about Tyreek at all this year. Have we had a Tyreek Hill kind of a game this year at all? I don't think so. We hear about other guys. Nico Collins started to play great this year. CeeDee Lamb has been consistent. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison. I can name all these other wide receivers who's had better games than Tyreek Hill this year. And Tyreek Hill he was voted number 1 player in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gone missing. gone. Joe, you know what? I gotta make an addition to today's doghouse. Now that I just mentioned it, I gotta make an addition to today's doghouse. So it's
He scored
I
yesterday.
don't know. Okay, that's the first time he scored in how many games? First time he scored in how many games? Jalen Waddle has had a better season this year than he has. So I don't know. There's some hope there. They just can't. They can only afford to lose one game. If they lose two, that's it.
See, the last two games been on the road and they both been in the cold. I still give the Dolphins some hope. I can't come on here and say if the Cowboys beat the Bengals on Monday night, I have a little bit more hope and sit up here and look at the Dolphins team who practically are better when Tua is playing. And literally, I would say the franchise is better when Tua is playing. And that kind of makes sense of why they're making all the decisions they've been making with his career. Because while he was out, that team looked abysmal. I mean, I had A-Chain on my fantasy team, and he did not play good until Tua came back. Traded him to Dave, and if Tua's in the game, I gave you Tua and A-Chain, so you got the duo. So yeah, anytime Tua's around, that whole offense just looks better. Again, I don't know what's going on with Tyreek Hill. Maybe it's a mental thing as far as him being voted as the number one player. Again, we don't talk about curses a lot, but that could be a situation there because it's like it wasn't actually warranted that you were the best player in the NFL last year. You did play good, but where's the consistency there? And I know a Chiefs GM is somewhere saying like, y'all still calling me crazy? Telling y'all. But I still give them a little bit of hope. I'm with you on the Texans too. I had a lot of hope for the Texans, just as far as them adding a new weapon and them coming back. But I never sat back and thought that Stroud would fall under the Michael Parsons banner. I know they were going on a lot of tours and stuff, and they were doing a lot of stuff for Bleacher Report and Madden and all of that. But it's just like maybe there's a difference in the quarterback doing it and a pass rusher doing it because, again, the assignments are a little bit different. And, again, you did add a new addition to your team by going and getting Stephon Diggs, and then the run game is there. So, Joe, just be on the lookout for that too because that team did kind of creep up on some people last year. And now this year they're going through some struggles. But that's not the here nor there. I think they steal it though. I think they sneak in. I think they got it. My hopes would be high if I was a Miami fan. They're definitely higher than if I was a Cowboys fan.
You think they'll sneak in?
I think they'll sneak in.
Yeah, the AFC is easy to get in. The bottom is not. It's like I said, they tied for 8th with 5-7. Dang, if y'all win the AFC, I'll be tied for 8th.
Yeah, and we be looking at the Broncos. See, that's the only downfall because now I got to sit and deal with Bibby and Tyler and the Broncos winning. But again, it's too many teams that got division lineups down the road where it's like if the Dolphins could beat the Jets, I know Devontae Adams got a lot to say the next time he go on somebody's interview, but that's it right there. They can win the 2 division games. They beat the 49ers, and then it's like, all right, we got to go duke it out in Cleveland and find a way to beat the Texans. But again, the hope is still there because those games, the last 2 games are in the code. Everything else is climate control.
And they've been playing well since Tua got back. So playing a whole different team.
Balling.
So yeah, hopes high for the Dolphins. It's getting down to the crunch time.
Yeah. And crunch time rolls right into lunchtime because I need to go eat in a minute. But we got to do our weekly segment.